Wow. Ayah,
Si Ade udah tidur belum?
Nih adeknya.
halo ayah.
Ade, nanti kalau ayah pulang,
Kita main ya.
Di saat kami melepas jangkar, mengucapkan salam pada Ibu Pertiwi untuk mengarungi luasnya samudera.
1200. Oke.
Kami yakin tiap mil yang kami tempuh takkan percuma. Kami, Pertamina International Shipping, melangkah hingga detik ini untuk tepati janji mengantar jutaan kiloliter energi, menyalakan aktivitas, dan menjangkau hingga pelosok negeri. Memutar roda perekonomian demi mendukung pertumbuhan. Kami berdedikasi menjaga ketahanan energi bangsa sebagai barisan terdepan penyedia solusi kelautan terintegrasi yang terangkai melalui barisan armada shipping andal yang siap berlayar menuju pelabuhan dunia. Kelengkapan Marine Services sebagai penunjang kegiatan angkutan laut, sarana pelabuhan, juga layanan pendukung. Serta fungsi logistik untuk mendukung transportasi dan penyimpanan dan berbagai layanan lainnya. Kami persiapkan diri demi menghadapi tantangan dunia. Tak gentar sedikit pun saat hadapi badai. Hingga kini tiba saatnya kami membawa Indonesia mengarungi laut dunia untuk menjadi Asia's leading shipping and marine logistics company. Berekspansi sebagai perusahaan maritim yang komprehensif dan bertaraf internasional. Menjalin kemitraan global, membangun bisnis kelautan antar bangsa, dan terus memperdalam pemahaman kami akan kebutuhan energi di masa depan. Kami berkomitmen menjadi yang terbaik, bertumbuh selaras dengan keberlanjutan bumi dan kesejahteraan masyarakat, bersama memajukan Indonesia. Dan layaknya energi, keinginan ini takkan pernah pudar. Karena energi adalah semangat kita semua mengalir untuk Indonesia.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Shalom, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, salam kebajikan dan salam sejahtera bagi kita semua. Selamat siang dan semangat pagi. Bagaimana kabar Bapak, Ibu, dan teman-teman sekalian? Saya harap semua dalam keadaan sehat selalu. Izinkan saya memperkenalkan diri. Saya Fawas, selaku moderator yang akan memandu acara UI Career, Internship, Scholarship, dan Entrepreneurship atau UICC Expo Maret 2024, Elevate Your Career Beyond Limits. Izinkan saya untuk memberikan sedikit penjelasan kepada teman-teman di sini bahwa rangkaian acara hari ini terdiri dari UICC Entrepreneurship Talk, One North Foundation, Evolving with LLMs, The Future of Life, Career, and Business, yang mana di dalamnya akan ada penjelasan mengenai serba-serbi large language models. Dan sebelum itu saya akan jelaskan mengenai UICC. UICC adalah kegiatan Expo tahunan yang diselenggarakan oleh Pusat Pengembangan Karir Lulusan Universitas Indonesia atau CISE UI yang dinaungi oleh Direktorat Pengembangan Karir Lulusan dan Hubungan Alumni Universitas Indonesia atau DPKH UI, bekerja sama dengan Center for Independent Learning atau CILUI, serta Career Lab sebagai platform teknologi informasi lowongan kerja. UICS Expo Maret 2024 berlangsung dari tanggal 19 Februari hingga 15 Maret 2024 dan diikuti oleh berbagai perusahaan ternama. Selain itu, pada tanggal 8 hingga 9 Maret kemarin, UICS Expo Maret 2024 telah diadakan secara offline di Balerung UI. Kegiatannya ada apa aja sih? Banyak dan beragam banget teman-teman. Ada UGC Training, Company Talk, Scholarship, dan juga Entrepreneurship Talk. Hal ini agar teman-teman dapat lebih mengenal perusahaan lebih jauh dan juga mempersiapkan karir sedari dini. Ayo, daftar segera di ugc.careerlab.co. Dan selain itu juga, UGC Expo Maret 2024 berkolaborasi dengan Career Lab. Career Lab sendiri merupakan platform end-to-end career solutions yang memberikan dukungan kepada mahasiswa, fresh graduates, dan profesional muda untuk persiapan karir, serta lowongan kerja yang dikurasi untuk entry level. Career Lab juga telah mendukung puluhan kampus di Indonesia dengan career management platform untuk pusat karir dan mahasiswa. Dan untuk info lebih lanjut mengenai Career Lab, teman-teman silakan akses careerlab.co ya. Dan kemudian kami ingin mengucapkan terima kasih kepada sponsor UICS Expo Maret 2024 kami, yakni Bank Danamon, PT Pertamina International Shipping, PT Barga Technology Innovation, dan juga PT Fast Retailing Indonesia atau Uniqlo. Tak lupa, official media partner kami diantaranya matamata.com, Hubs.id, Radio Solo Pos, Koran Solo Pos, Kawan GNFI, Suara.com, Event Alerts, UNJ Entrepreneur Club, Kawal Event, Big Alpha, Magang Info underscore, Disna Kerja, Info Locker Jobs, Routines, Women's Obsession, dan juga Men's Obsession. Dan sebelum kita melanjutkan sesi utama, tak lupa saya informasikan kepada teman-teman yang hadir siang hari ini untuk mengkonfirmasikan kehadirannya melalui QR Code yang ditampilkan pada slide yang ada di layar teman-teman. Atau teman-teman juga bisa mengklik tautan yang dikirim oleh tim panitia yang ada di kolom chat. Dan setelah teman-teman mengkonfirmasi kehadirannya, teman-teman juga bisa mengisi link feedback form yang akan dibagikan di akhir acara yang dapat teman-teman isi guna mendapatkan syarat untuk mendapatkan sertifikat. Jadi untuk teman-teman yang ingin mendapatkan sertifikat dari webinar di siang hari ini, teman-teman bisa mengisi link feedback form yang ada nanti. Dan jangan lupa juga teman-teman untuk mendaftar serta mengikuti event-event UIC lainnya melalui uic.careerlab.co/event. Alright, it appears that everyone here is very excited to meet our special guest of this day. And on today's main event, which is Entrepreneurship Talk, One North Foundation, Evolving with LLMs, the Future of Life, Career, and Business. And firstly, we're going to hear the brief presentation from Ms. Vanessa. Hello, Ms. Vanessa.
Halo, Kak Fawas. Thank you for the introductions.
How are you, Miss?
Good, very good. How are you?
I'm good too. And okay, Ms. Vanessa.
So, mungkin aku start dari bahasa Indonesia dulu aja kali ya. Nanti untuk kayak kontennya kita baru bisa lanjut ke bahasa Inggris ya oleh Mr. Lu. Nah, untuk konten hari ini mungkin aku bisa share screen dulu sebentar. Apakah udah kelihatan screen aku?
Sudah.
Oke, jadi mungkin hari ini kita mau kenalan dulu kali ya dengan One Note Foundation. Mungkin kalau misalnya adik-adik sekalian mungkin belum tahu nih sebenarnya One Note Foundation itu apa sih gitu kan ya. Nah hari ini kita mau brief introductions, kita mau kenalan dulu nih sama One Note Foundation. Nah One Note Foundation sendiri ini kita adalah AI non-profit community di mana adik-adik bisa belajar lebih banyak tentang AI ataupun tentang tech gitu ya. Misi kita itu adalah memberikan pool atau misalnya wadah gitu untuk adik-adik yang kayak antusias nih misalnya sama AI atau misalnya sama tech, apalagi dari kalian semua yang mungkin jurusannya kayak computer science atau misalnya mathematics gitu kan ya. Nah, setiap kegiatan yang dilaksanakan oleh One Foundation ini memang semuanya gratis gitu ya. Jadi feel free untuk kayak bergabung dan untuk kayak connect with us gitu ya untuk belajar lebih lagi tentang AI gitu. Jadi base-nya kita sendiri ada di Singapura gitu, tapi kita memang mencakup semua area di Southeast Asia gitu. Nah, jadi mungkin ini aku kasih short aja untuk kayak perkenalannya. Untuk kayak activities kita ada kayak open discussion, kita ada banyak aktivitas-aktivitas yang lainnya gitu. Karena One of Foundation sendiri memang baru ya di Indonesia gitu, karena kita pusatnya ada di Singapura. Jadi untuk kayak open discussion ini kita masih lakukan secara online, tapi karena kita udah launching di Indonesia, maka kalau misalnya nih dari adik-adik ada yang pengen, Kak, kayaknya aku pengen belajar coding deh dari nol, atau misalnya kayaknya Kak kita mau ngadain offline gathering, misalnya kayak main bareng gitu ya, itu boleh banget gitu. Dan memang memang One Note Foundation ini terbuka untuk umum. Jadi nggak harus dari misalnya jurusan yang computer science atau kayak mathematics gitu ya, yang nggak berhubungan sama sekali jurusannya juga boleh banget untuk ikut gitu. Nah kalau misalnya adik-adik sekalian tertarik, itu bisa langsung joinin by scanning our WhatsApp group. Di sini nanti tinggal aku approve aja gitu ya. Jadi barcode-nya ada di sini atau nanti linknya mungkin aku bisa kirimin di dalam chat group sendiri gitu. Nah, sama sekalian karena waktunya terbatas, mungkin aku cepat aja sekalian mau kenalin kita di tanggal April nanti sampai Mei kita akan mengadakan hackathon, yaitu yang memang semuanya free, registration-nya tuh itu pun free, untuk hadiahnya itu lebih dari 30 juta gitu ya. Bahkan first winner-nya itu mendapatkan kayak cash prize di 15 juta dan akan ada internship opportunity untuk winnersnya gitu. Nah untuk adik-adik sekalian yang kayak tertarik untuk joining, boleh banget scan hackathon group kita untuk stay up to date tentang kayak pengumuman lombanya ataupun nanti untuk title announcement-nya gitu ya. Nah nanti untuk finalis-finalisnya itu sendiri nanti akan dikarantina di Hotel Bintang 5 selama 3 hari 2 malam gitu ya untuk mengerjakan project tersebut gitu. Atau misalnya kalau masih ragu mau nanya-nanya, boleh langsung aja scan barcode contact person-nya, itu aku sendiri. Jadi nanti kalau misalnya ada demo tanya mengenai hackathon, apapun ataupun mau memberikan kayak ide mengenai kayak OneNote Foundation-nya, boleh banget feel free untuk contact me at any time gitu. Nah, paling untuk kayak introductions OneNote Foundation-nya sekian dulu ya. Mungkin takut waktunya nggak cukup juga untuk konten atau topik hari ini. Oke, mungkin saya balikan lagi ke Kak Fawas.
Yes, baik. Terima kasih atas pemaparannya, Kak Vanessa. Semoga memberikan gambaran awal bagi teman-teman yang hadir di siang hari ini akan One North Foundation dan juga perihal hackathon-nya begitu. And right now, we're gonna have the opportunity to hear for Mr. Jiang Feng Lu or Mr. Lu as a founder of One North Foundation. And without further ado, let's greet our guest speaker. Hello, Mr. Lu.
Yes, very nice to meet you guys, especially in the Ramadan months, right?
Yes. Are you ready for the presentation, sir?
Yeah, let me share the screen.
All right, for
Yeah,
Mr.
can you
Lu,
guys
the floor is yours.
Okay, so a little bit background of mine. I'm actually running a China R&D Center for Trend Micro, which is a cybersecurity company globally. And after almost 10 years there, I founded my own company. And then 2 years later, I sold my company to the number one cybersecurity company in China called Qihoo 360. Then we have a fight with Tencent. Then a little bit later, we are the first one survived in fighting with Tencent. Then later we go public in New York Stock Exchange in 2011. Then after that, I serve as still right now I'm doing individual angel investment, mainly in deep tech, as sometimes in venture capital. I still an investor for two of the very famous VC company here in Southeast Asia. One is called Insignia Venture Partners. Another one is East Venture. So I started with AI in 2019. I still serving as the chairman and the co-founder running this company. And last year, because there was a lot of fun things coming out in terms of AGI, then I spent some money to try to set up this AI foundation, which is called a One North Foundation, because we are in a small town called One North in Singapore. And also One North is, because North on the map is upwards. So I think we try to, make things better every day for this. And the purpose for for this foundation is actually try to bring investors, bring entrepreneur, bring like AGI users, as well as like practitioners and people who is willing to learn AGI, like everyone else, everyone like in this webinar. So this is like the little bit background about myself, and here's the topic, like why I put here this is, because like since November of 2022, ChatGPT have its first version like being released, like then like everything is changed. Then like I borrowed these slides from one of my friends, who is the Academia of U.S. National Engineering Academy. He said like, okay, right now like we are the bottom part is actually like illustrate the agricultural revolution, like industrialization, and starting from the 1970s, I think. Then like we are getting into the information age, but like at that time, AI is very specific software technology. But like when internet and software technology like evolves, actually like everybody is like using computer and like a mobile phone. Then a lot of information data being digitalized. Then deep learning coming out. Then like there's a lot of new things coming out. Then right now we think like the next big wave is kind of like a digitalization, as well as like an AI transformation. And in terms of those like AI things, I think like those like information and software and like AI things, like in the very beginning is kind of like only information. It's kind of like create the ecosystem for processing the data. Then I think later we are like try to build knowledge into the whole system. Then like we have the model. Then robotics and everything will be driven by these AI things. Then like no matter it's robot or like their software system, we started to think of like a take action. So it's going to be like a very kind of like a paradigm shift in terms of like using the latest development of the AI technology. Wow. Okay. Yeah. There. From this diagram, actually, like we talk about like ChatGPT is kind of like AI's iPhone moment, and also like you guys can tell, it spent a lot of years for a new product to reach 1 million like users, but right now like it's only takes several days. It means like the world is like changing to be a faster and faster like way of like a development. So so everything, I think like a kind of like similar metaphor for this is actually about the invention about like electricity. Before the electricity, everything is like a smooth, slow, and previously being the power comes from the horse, or maybe the steam engine. But like when electricity coming out, there's a lot of new things coming out. And in the very beginning, the electricity generator is kind of like a very, very trivial business, but like it may need a lot of like money to create this kind of like a machine, and the usage to for the lightning. Okay, the benefits is not that good yet. If like considering about the price performance like way. But like right now, with more and more people using electricity, then the generator, the way of like generate electricity is getting like the cost efficiency is like getting lower, cost efficiency lower or high. It's more and more efficient to use electricity, and almost like every day, every minute, everybody is like enjoy the benefits from this, and a lot of new things coming out, like no matter like the bubble light, the movie player, the TV, like a computer, everything will be equipped with like electricity. And we believe like in the future, same thing goes for AI. AI is kind of like a utility, and like it's going to be like a very cheap, and in our daily life, every moment, and all the devices we are using will be like empowered by like powered by AI or AGI things. So like a little bit like looking back, is like there's like a total like 5 tribes like in machine learning. When I was in university, that's like the late 1980s to the early like the 1990s. We are like studying like symbolism. It's kind of like the typical language. I think a lot of us, like some of our audience is from like a computer science major. Like the Prolog, the like a Lisp, those kind of like programming language, which is kind of like a similar those kind of like a kind of like a reasoning, or like try to do some like a problem solving. We try to create a language to simulate the way, try enable us to put our thoughts in this way. So that's the earliest. I think like that's the second wave or the third wave for the AI. But right now, mostly like a connectionists. This is the way, like the neural network. This is, I think, like this going to be maybe like a 90% or even 99% of AI were coming from neural networks. So for the GPT right now, the top usage in this AI, the new AI things, is mostly like customer services, finance, software development, education, content creation. Yeah, I think like this year, the Gemini, there's a lot of new like a multimodality like AGI things coming out. Then content, and a lot of I think like a lot of you guys like using like TikTok, and a lot of content from TikTok is going to be replaced by those AGI generated AI generated contents. And of course, like a healthcare, legal, and a lot of hospitality things will be also like those top use cases for AGI. And like there's some statistics done by OpenAI, and it is like 20% of the worker, their 50% of their tasks being impacted by AI. That means like a lot of people already, AI penetrated into their daily life, and the rest of those workers, 80%, they were still like having like 10% of their task. You can see the influence of AI. So I think almost like everybody will see some the AI impact. And another statistics is like the total industry is about like 24%, and you can tell a lot of from different jobs, like service and sales workers, maybe like a 15% of the impact, but professionals and like clerk support workers, like especially some like knowledge workers, impact more versus like those who like become like laborers. That doesn't mean like okay, blue collar people will survive in the or like will have less impact by AI. That because that time still like haven't come in yet. You know, one of the very hot topic like in AI recently is like embodied AI, which means how the robots can equip with like a smarter brain, with like a smarter AI, so that those AI is able to plan to self-evolving, so that like it can also plan and solve the problems like in the future, and also like take action. So if maybe like this may still take like some time, but at that time, well, there may be more like the blue collars cannot be like escaped from this like AGI revolution. However, the World Economic Forum also like predict, in this AGI era, although a lot of jobs, no matter like a white collar or like a blue collar, will be impacted by their job will be impacted by AI. But the AGI also create like 133 million new technology jobs. So let's take a look to see like what kind of like things AGI can help. I think like in our mind, like when after we talk to some expert in Accenture, in McKinsey, BCG, like almost all of us like agree AI will have to boost in productivity at least like 40%. And like our internally, like when we think like, okay, when we create some like an AI product, we're always thinking about drive the cost down, maybe like to 1/10. However, drive the productivity at least like a double or like a triple the productivity. So that's one part. Of course, the second part is efficiency and the cost savings, because right now the machine, the machine, the cost or the price for machine is getting cheaper and cheaper, right? That's like a previous Moore's law, and also like AI. They also like the capability will maybe like a double or like a triple like in the next several years. So the cost savings will be very obvious, and also like some new job will be created. For example, like prompt engineer, which nobody is able to see the needs maybe like in 2 or 3 years ago, but right now there's a lot of like companies we are including like with AI, we are trying to hire those like good prompt engineers, and also almost all of those like prompt engineers, their experience is about like, okay, you have 3 months of like prompt engineering experience, or maybe 6 months. You cannot see anyone like more than 1 or 2 years. Although there might be some, but like most of prompt engineers like have an experience of less than 1 year. That means everybody have the opportunity, right? Okay, so in terms of the jobs part, I think like there will be two parts. One part is like talking about the model itself. So in this world, we from most of the technical companies' point of view, there's like two kind of like models. One is closed source model. One is open source models. So the typical like closed source model is like an open AI, right? And the typical like open source models, there's a lot like Meta's like a Llama, like there's a lot of like open source like companies like in you can like found in Hugging Face. This is a place for a lot of like different AGI models like are working on. everybody like have a new version, then people will like put in there, try to get like people try, and also like there's a lot of like people talking about like different models, talking about their performance, talking about the issues, talking about the fix, like in Hugging Face. So technical part, you can choose like these parts. You can contribute to like open source models, and also like maybe you can apply a job like in OpenAI or like a Google or maybe in some other company. But like number one thing is like these kind of like closed source models, like they are usually have a very huge team and have a lot of like need a lot of like a computing power as well as like electricity to complete the task. But the rest of the world, like we're chasing for open source, try to see how we can leverage those kind of different models into the business for different business purpose. Yeah. So this is the model part. And other than this, there will be a lot of like new jobs coming out, like about how we can leverage the AI AGI capability from those large language model, and in building our product with the AI capability. So they're like of course, like one easiest way is like try to do a simple wrapper, right? So they're like the core capabilities provided by a large language model. However, you only maybe provide some like a very easily like a user interface. But like for some others, maybe like we get into deeper, one thing is like, okay, we may only use part of the capability. We may only use the intent understanding capability. That's like a previously we call like a natural language understanding or like a natural language processing capability. But the content generation maybe like still using the other parts. So they're like we can put in leveraging the capability from different models, try to make a product which could be like a fitting to users' needs. So that's another way of like the technical part. But like there were also like some new things like coming out, like using prompt or like even like how to ask or like challenge the large language model so that it can help you create some tool. And there's like a lot of practice already like coming out like in both like the United States as well as like in China. Is like how people is using like a prompt engineering, asking their large language model to help to create something. One very young assistant like in a NASDAQ listed company like actually that assistant is like the assistant for CFO, and he has a lot of like needs, try to putting two PDF files like together, so they like make it into one file. And in this case, previously he need to asking help from like engineers, because that's like a software company. So they also like release like such kind of like a tool. So they're like in their that's like their company business. But like later, every time there's some like some issue or some bug coming out, so he need to check with the engineer for some new things. But like recently, like with GPT-4, he actually is able to create the tool by himself, using GPT-4's capability. Then the product is like getting better and better. Then like recently, their CEO told me, well, actually, the tool is better than their software engineer like created. So they are going to like replace their own product using like the one generated by GPT-4. So that's one case. Another case is like still the same company. Like the CEO told me he's like using GPT-4 try to develop an online game. So they're like he actually like was a programmer, but like haven't practiced programming for several years. But like this time, he only like using like prompt engineering, try to asking questions to the large language model, then ask the model try to help him to design the product, help to architecture the product, then like eventually generate the code and actually help to install on some servers and started to running this game. So like this is very amazing. Without writing a single line of code, he's actually like created a game by himself and started to deploy it on a cloud and make it like running like on the internet. So this is some like a very interesting like story. And another amazing story I heard is like I don't know like if you guys know a company called Xiaomi, which is one of the top mobile phone like company like in China. They created mobile phone by themselves, and I think they are like I think like they are within top 5 global like mobile phone providers like in the world. And there's like a co-founder, which he actually like retired in 2018 or like yeah, I think like 2018. Then like he actually like was like a software engineer in Microsoft Asia Research. He's a very good engineer. And he also led a team like in Microsoft Asia Research. Then in Xiaomi, like they are creating a lot of like apps and also doing the some like a revised version of like an Android system, so they're like able to running on their own like a mobile phone, and they also create a lot of mobile apps, right? So this guy, his name is KK, and he actually like managed a lot of such like software engineering job like in creating like a mobile apps. Then he using GPT 3.5 and also GPT-4 for about like 5 months, created like hundreds of like mobile apps with 2 of his assistant. Then another my friend who is also like an advisor of our like a One-North Foundation, the U.S. like a National Engineering Academy like a member. He's like actually like one time he's like KK's like a direct manager. He asked KK, said, okay, if without like a GPT, how many software engineers he need so that KK is able to create the same kind of like a product in the same period of time. Actually, KK responding with like 120. So that means like a three human being plus GPT actually equals to 120 like a Microsoft or like a Xiaomi's like a software engineers. So this is kind of like a very amazing thing like I learned like later last year. So this is kind of like a very interesting. So I think like in the this like AGI time, there will be like a lot of challenge like we are facing. Like for example, in KK's story, actually like they only no need for him to like hire more software engineers. A lot of like programmers will be maybe some like a lousy programmers, even like not able to write some like a code compared with GPT. but like still there will be some like some jobs can be done like using like in STEM, the science, technology, engineering, mathematics like major students, right? But also like previously it it's almost impossible for like non-STEM students to create a software. But right now, actually, like this is happening. Like just like the assistant, like in my friend's company, who is like able to using like a GPT to create software, which could be better than their software engineers. So regardless like your background in the AGI era, I think like everybody is able to contribute. But most important thing is actually the passion and hunger for success, and also like a quick learner. So this could be like the most important characteristics of for you in your like future career. Yeah. So this sentence actually comes from like one of my friend. He said like, okay, in the future, it won't be like an AI that will replace you, but those like your peers equipped or like a mastering AI definitely like will have a more productivity, and they can do a better job and do more job like using AI. So they will have the advantage. So of course, like the most importantly is like how we could be the one mastering like AI in our future like future job or future life. And in the organization, I think like this is also going to be changed a lot. So right now, a lot of companies, they hire a lot of people, right? But in the future, maybe like 5 years or like 10 years later, the organization mostly will be, AI agents. They will do the job. They will also manage the task. But like how human beings like are doing. So we are filling the gap. If like a one part to another part, well, some tasks can be automated by AI. Some tasks might still like too difficult. So human beings is like going to fill in the gap and try to fix the bugs, like for the pipeline, for the organization, for the working process. And more importantly, it's like human beings, we are the one like try to help to train those like AI agents, try to help to fix their issues. So it's going to be like a fast evolving, and maybe like we can, as we can tell in maybe the last like 1,000 years, a lot of jobs will be disappear, but like some new jobs were coming out. So I think like it's going to be like changing a lot, and also like there will be a lot of uncertainty there. So from my own point of view, is like I come out with this like e to the fourth square like a law in AGI era. Number one is like okay, we need to engage with ChatGPT, or like maybe like right now like GPT-4 or like Claude 3, something like that. Engage with the latest technology and also like embrace the change and uncertainty. So this is kind of like a mindset preparation for us. So that like previously what we think, okay, I spent like 4 years in university, then I can use this knowledge to work for the rest of my life, and this is not going to happen. And the high chances is like you keep learning this technology, try to catch up. You put a lot of effort doing this, then like you are at the first year, then next month some new technology coming out. Okay, you need to do this process again. So if you are not mentally prepare yourself to embrace change and uncertainty, you're going to be living in a very painful like a situation. Every day you will find yourself need to like try to catch up something. So if you are not like mentally prepare yourself for this, okay, then it's very, very hard for like for you to like keep living even or maybe you just like okay, like that, say okay, doesn't matter, like I would just like become some like there's like a one term called like UBI, universal basic income, right? So everybody just like gets some like the minimum benefits from the government and maintain our biological life. Then like we're just like wasting every day without like achieving something. But another part is like okay, we may keep learning, keep like uh, uh, doing something and try to prepare for the next like next change, prepare for some like uncertain thing coming out. So this the number one and number two, these two E, we need to like prepare ourselves in terms of like a mindset. And the third one is like okay, let's start to do something. Let's establish or initiate the first trial. Or like even for business wise, we need to initiate first AI project so that like we can gain the knowledge. Then the last thing is like we keep evolving with the LLMs. Some new LLMs coming out, and even like some big news were coming out like every several months, sometimes like every week. In a certain period of time, like last year, every day there's some like a very significant improvement like in terms of like AGI technology. So we need to keep learning things, keep evolving, so they're like evolving our own knowledge, evolving our own system, so that like we are keeping in the first tier. So that like this is the 4E law. I think like it's the only way for us to survive in the AGI era. So that's actually the reason I think like it's why we started our like One North Foundation like in Singapore and in Southeast Asia, and we especially like will put a lot of effort in Indonesia, working with the universities for like hackathon, and maybe we'll like start also like do some like free training like for prompt engineering, letting people like establish your first trial. Then like we were keep like posting some problems so they like keep people as working on different like LLMs so that we can have the experience and we can evolve. Then eventually I think like we can make something happen in the future. So actually that's the part like the purpose or the vision of our One North Foundation. So just like two sentences about like the company like I founded like with AI. We are like one of the leading company like in Southeast Asia, working on the voice recognition, text to speech, as well as like natural language understanding using different models, including GPT large language model. We actually like fine-tune one of the Bahasa Indonesia version like for our business users. We've been recognized by Singaporean government, so that like we're able to go without tender if like some government agent they want to use our product. So that's like a very honorable like a certificate like from the Singaporean government. We also like won the most the top like tech award, like they call like a Singaporean Tech Blazer Award. And this is like our footprint in the world. We have customers in 16 countries in like a Southeast, mostly in Southeast Asia country, and also like a Middle East, and also like in North America as well as like a South America. Our bot is able to speak in 12 language. So yeah, that's pretty much like what I have. So yeah, that's all my sharing. Thanks.
Okay, thank you so much for the presentations, Mr. Lu, and I am sure everyone here has learned a lot from it. And with that said, and allow me to summarize a bit of what Mr. Lu explained. And we learned a lot about regarding what is LLMs and how's the benefit that we can take from utilizing them, and also how to utilize them, LLMs, optimally in our life. And for all participants in here, if you would like to ask questions to Mr. Lu, please write them on the Q&A box. And I see that some of you have written them on the chat box instead, and please move them to the Q&A box. Bagi para peserta yang ingin bertanya, silakan menanyakan pertanyaan ke Q&A box, jangan sampai ke chatnya ya teman-teman, karena dari saya, dari moderator yang nanti akan memimpin Q&A akan membacakan melalui Q&A box. And while we're waiting for participants to fill in the Q&A box, and allow me to point out some really interesting information regarding our upcoming events. And seperti yang sudah tertera di layar, teman-teman, bagi yang ingin mengetahui lebih lanjut mengenai opportunity and benefit at Wonder Foundation, bisa scan QR code yang tertera di layar atau klik link yang ada untuk mengakses virtual booth Wonder Foundation di UICISE Expo Maret 2024. Dan selanjutnya teman-teman bisa mengikuti upcoming event UICISE lainnya yang tidak kalah bermanfaat seperti PRDC, Unlocking the Gateway, an Introduction to Data Center Operations and Apprentice Program, your entry point to thriving the data center industry and gear up yourself to entering workplace dari Asuransi Astra dan juga BNI Company Talk. Bagi yang tertarik, silakan daftar di uicisa.carilab.co/event. Dan selain event tadi, teman-teman juga bisa akses events lainnya di uicisa.carilab.co untuk beragam macam webinar yang teman-teman bisa ikuti. And right now we're moving forward to our Q&A session. And for this Q&A session, I'm gonna give it to Miss Vanessa to lead it.
Okay, thank you, Kak Fawaz. So thank you everyone for the questions that I have shown in the Q&A box. Maybe I'll start one by one, yeah. First one here, let me from Ryan, University of Medan area. Hello, Mr. Lu. My name is Ryan from University of Medan area. I want to ask a few questions regarding this topic. The first, considering the ethical implications surrounding the use of LLMs, what measure do you believe entrepreneurs should take to ensure responsible and ethical use of these technologies in their business?
Of course, like ethical use, like is one of the very big topic. And also there's a lot of initiatives in Singapore, by Singaporean government, and also their chief AI officer is a friend of mine, and they're talking about AI for public good. So then that also means how we can control AI for ethical usage. This is we can break this big question into a lot of smaller ones, although the smaller ones are still very big. For example, a security issue, how we can protect the outcome of the large language model from telling the privacy, telling people or disclosure the private information of their training data. So this is also one of the topic people still working on. And another part is a lot of countries will try to ask their large language model complying with their they'll try to create some laws or regulations to try to enforce the large language model to say something or not to say something. So this, of course, like you know, was a lot of discussion about like such kind of like practice. And also in terms of technology, we also need to do a lot of things, try to make this happening, or like try to block those kind of like malicious behavior. So this is still like an ongoing effort. And of course, like in the future, mostly like you know, AI is kind of like a tool, just like a knife. People is able to use knife to serving good purpose. Also, like people able to use knife to serving the bad purpose. So most importantly is like how our human being, we are like the one behind the AI, the one behind like the AGI things, like mostly like this part is like more important. Of course, like there will be uh, more things coming out to help to enforce those like ethical, or like those like maybe like regulations about like those AGI things. Yeah, I hope
Okay.
like I have the answer for this, but like obviously like this is still working like a topic. Yeah.
Okay, so and then maybe like another questions, because like we have time until three and 2 minutes. So maybe one more questions. So siang Pak, let me introduce myself. My name is Dayan, a physics alumni from UI. Thank you for the presentation, very useful. The following are my questions regarding the theme of this webinar. The first, what is the essence of future life, career, and business? And can OneNote Foundation be a working liaison with overseas company? Sorry, what is the reciprocity from members to OneNote Foundations like? That is all. Thank you.
Yeah, I think like no matter like individual or like a business like users, I think like AGI is the necessary capability we need to master. Without like mastering the AGI, just like you know people in the modern age, we're not able to use like uh, lights. We're not able to use like telephones. It's going to be like a very hard for us, like even like a bus or like a cars, like right. So like our life will be getting to a very obvious like is the one thing like we need to master it. And also like how we can talk to AI, how we can like leverage AI's capability for our like life. That's obviously like people we need to like think every day and try to practice every day. And of course, like a OneNote Foundation, we are like right now like in Singapore and in Indonesia, and we will spend most of our effort here until like we have like more bandwidth to do more things. So I think like we were like asking the support from like friends from like the whole community. If anybody like interested, you guys can like talk to like Finisa about this, so that we can have some like a further discussion about all these things. And of course, like we are willing to be working with companies. I hope like the overseas company means like a company in Indonesia, right? That part like we definitely will do. Yeah, thanks.
Okay. Mungkin untuk Q&A sessions-nya we can end it here. If there's karena keterbatasan waktu juga ya, Kak Fawas ya.
Yeah, and also like I think like you guys can participate our hackathon so that we can have more chance to talk. Yeah,
Yes,
thanks.
or join our group by using the link that I've shared. Maybe like if you have any more questions, you can directly ask it in the group, and maybe we can discuss it further.
Thanks.
Thank
See
you,
you.
everyone.
Thank you for the answers, Mr. Lu, and also for the leading this Q&A session, Ms. Vanessa. And unfortunately, to time constraints, the previous questions marks the end of our Q&A session. And thank you to all participants who submitting your questions. And I would like to apologize to those whose questions have not been answered yet. And Last but not least, thank you very much towards Mr. Lu and also Ms. Vanessa from One Earth Foundation for the very useful presentations and also the insights. And I'm sure everyone here is inspired and grateful from today's company talk. And before we're moving to the end of this webinar, for Mr. Lu, maybe, do you have any closing statement?
Me?
Yes,
Yeah,
Mr. Lu.
thanks everyone. I hope like I can see you guys like in Indonesia, in WI's campus in the Hexo. Thank you.
And then from me, I hope like we can get to know each other more by, of course, one of our hackathon, and by relate more and like contact more in our groups. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you once again, Mr. Lu and also Ms. Vanessa. And if Mr. Lu and also Ms. Vanessa wants to leave this Zoom webinar first, you are welcome to do so. Thank you once
Thanks.
again.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Dan untuk teman-teman yang ada di sini, jangan beranjak dulu, karena saya ingin kembali mengingatkan kepada teman-teman untuk mengkonfirmasi kehadirannya melalui QR Code yang ada di layar. Dan setelah teman-teman mengisi konfirmasi kehadiran ini, teman-teman juga bisa mengisi feedback form yang dapat diisi untuk mendapatkan sertifikat. Jadi untuk teman-teman yang ingin mendapatkan sertifikat, teman-teman harus mengisi kedua QR yang ada di layar ini. Dan setelah teman-teman isi, teman-teman juga jangan lupa untuk mendaftar dan mengikuti event-event UICC lainnya di uicc.careerlab.co/event, karena masih banyak lagi sisa-sisa event yang teman-teman bisa ikuti demi mendapatkan beragam pelatihan dan juga webinar gratis. Dan setelah teman-teman mengisi ya untuk attendance confirmations dan juga feedback formnya, teman-teman bisa pantau terus info-info seputar karir, workshop karir, dan acara menarik lainnya dengan memfollow LinkedIn dan juga Instagram UICC Expo dan Career Lab seperti instagram.com/careerexpo.ui, instagram.com/careerlab, dan juga LinkedIn dari Career Lab. Dan barangkali buat teman-teman di sini ingin mendapatkan informasi nih, mulai dari locker, company talk, hingga resumé CV workshop, bisa bergabung dengan komunitas UICC Maret 2024 melalui link yang tertera di layar ini ya, dengan berbagai benefit yang bisa teman-teman dapatkan jika teman-teman bergabung di komunitas ini. Dan selain itu juga, di UICC Expo Maret ini, semua peserta yang ingin melamar kerja dan mengikuti rangkaian acara berkesempatan untuk mengikuti self-assessment gratis dari Kevlin. Dan siapa sih Kevlin itu? Kevlin adalah penyedia asesmen job fit checking untuk membantu keputusan owners dan juga HRD saat hiring agar lebih baik. Dan di sisi lain juga bisa dibantu untuk membantu teman-teman mahasiswa dan juga fresh graduate di sini untuk menggali potensi diri dan juga arahan karir mereka. Jadi jangan lupa teman-teman untuk akses Kevlin dan teman-teman bisa menggali potensi diri dan arahan karir teman-teman sekalian. Dan sebelum saya mengakhiri sesi webinar pada sore hari ini, saya ingin mengucapkan terima kasih kepada sponsor UICC Expo Maret 2024, yakni Bank Danamon, PT Pertamina International Shipping, PT Paragon Technology and Innovation, PT Pasar Tooling Indonesia atau Uniqlo, dan tak lupa juga official media partner kami, yakni matamata.com, Hops Media Digital, Radio Solo Post, Koran Solo Post, Obsession News, Berita.id, Eurosay.id, Berhak Foundation, Void.id, Jurnava, Pasbana.com, Teens Edu, NCpedia ID, Walana, Andalas FM, dan juga PRFM. Saya ucapkan terima kasih kepada teman-teman yang sudah mengikuti webinar di sore ini sampai akhir. Semoga bermanfaat dan dapat berguna bagi perencanaan karir teman-teman sekalian. Saya Fawas, selaku moderator dari webinar sore hari ini, izin pamit undur diri. Mohon maaf atas segala kekurangannya. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. UICC Expo Maret 2024, Elevate Your Career Beyond Limits.
Dari sebuah kepercayaan, kami berhasil wujudkan banyak mimpi besar. Namun perjuangan kami tak berhenti sampai di sini. Gagal, jatuh, penuh tantangan. Tapi kami tak pernah hilang semangat. Dengan terus berinovasi untuk hasilkan produk terbaik dengan sepenuh hati. Berkolaborasi, berkreasi tanpa batas, mengembangkan potensi, menjadi cara kami untuk terus berlari. Sejak tahun 2019, kami bertransformasi menjadi Paragon Corp yang terdiri dari Paragon Technology and Innovation, perusahaan lokal kosmetik terbesar se-Indonesia, serta Parama Global Inspira sebagai perusahaan distribusi. Kami memiliki 41 distribution center, lebih dari 10.000 Paragonian, dan kami akan terus berkembang. Dengan R&D Center terbesar se-Indonesia, kami terus berinovasi menghasilkan brand-brand terbaik. Visi kami adalah memberikan kebermanfaatan yang lebih besar berdasarkan 4 pilar demi membantu sesama untuk kemajuan Indonesia. Mari berbagi mimpi yang sama untuk terus bertumbuh, berkolaborasi, mengembangkan potensi bersama Paragon Corp.
Ini cerita sebuah kisah perjalanan. Selalu
Pagi Dana.
pagi mengejar impian, membantu menggapai semua harapan, menjadi teman dan sahabat terpercaya.
Ayo mau pergi haji.
Hari tiap bulan ya.
Ini buat kamu, biar kamu semangat. Mari tumbuh bersama Danamon. Saatnya pegang kendali.